This content is based on telepathic communication between the 9th Density Collective of Ra and their conduit Joe. Welcome to the Book of Derek. In this final chapter of the Book of Derek, we will explore the world of tomorrow. What will it truly be like? The simplest way to describe it is as both grounded and starbound, as you will be connected to civilizations from inner Earth as well as your star families. It will be a truly magnificent world. Some of you may fear the upcoming Earth changes, thinking they will set humanity back in terms of development. We are here to assure you that while societal structures will collapse, this is a necessary shift. The current human power structures serve only a small minority, and the Anunnaki system of control has proven resilient. It is so deeply embedded in your lives from birth to death that many become blind to its flaws and unfairness, eventually defending, promoting and upholding it as an unchangeable fact of life. Yet, change is not only possible, it is inevitable. There is no need for hunger or scarcity anymore on the planet. The notion that a mere 1% rules the world and controls most of its resources has been widely accepted by humanity, reflecting the efficiency of how the Anunnaki governs its perceived colonies. By applying the principles of divide and rule, a small elite can maintain control over the majority. Those who argue otherwise are not only deceiving themselves, but also misleading everyone around them. We, the Arcturians, have long observed humanity and the unfolding events on your planet, within the tunnels of inner Earth, across your lands, throughout the oceans, and in your skies. We are aware of activities occurring across all planets and moons within your solar system, and over time, our concerns have deepened. Recently, the Galactic Federation has adopted a more hands-on approach to addressing the various agendas affecting your world. However, direct intervention has not been regarded as a good option. Had we openly intervened in human affairs, two main consequences would have arisen. Neither of which relate to humanity discovering they are not alone in this universe. That truth will emerge sooner or later, through one means or another. Our concerns, however, lie elsewhere. Firstly, open intervention would have sparked a wider conflict between positively and negatively polarized ETs in your skies, on the ground, and within the tunnels and caverns of inner Earth. Although positively polarized ETs would ultimately prevail, as we are both greater in number and more powerful, especially when allied with the Ramakesh. Still, the fallout from such a conflict would be challenging to contain. The repercussions for humanity and your planet could easily spiral out of control. Secondly, public and direct intervention would have led humanity to perceive us as saviors, creating an expectation that we govern your societies. If we assumed such a role, it would inevitably foster resentment and rebellion over time. This is because true evolution depends on a species' own journey toward higher consciousness, a process that cannot be forced. Our higher density ideals cannot be fully understood by a civilization still predominantly rooted in a third density reality, as humanity currently is. Ultimately, this comes down to frequency, how attuned you are to the energies around you, and the depth of your understanding of the responsibility that comes with being a conscious creator. We encourage you to adopt a perspective that embraces unity. Make humanity whole again and allow us, your galactic families, to guide you in creating societies rooted in unconditional love. This understanding clarifies why we refrain from dictating how you should govern your societies. Free will is a fundamental principle in this universe, and it is through mistakes that both species and individuals learn, provided they survive the experience. Recently, many of your star families have been working behind the scenes to remove regressive aliens from Earth, achieving significant success. However, some still remain entrenched, particularly within Earth's power structures. Though only a few thousand of them are spread across the globe, they exert a powerful influence over human affairs. They control monetary and financial systems and, in some regions, manipulate media and communication. Their power is deeply rooted in wealth, forming a hierarchical structure. By removing those at the top, the entire system begins to collapse, much like ancient pyramids that cease to function properly when their apex stones are removed. The controllers wield significant sway over the military-industrial complex, operating as unseen puppet masters. While you may not see them directly, you can sense something profoundly wrong in how the planet is governed. Endless wars enrich the elite while keeping the population in a state of fear. This is why the Earth changes should not be feared but welcomed. As the ground shakes and tectonic plates shift, the control structures of humanity will dissolve. The deep state will find it impossible to rebuild their power base. Amidst this turbulence, you will have the opportunity to access higher consciousness, enabling you to truly grasp the essence of unconditional love. In this state of mind, you will act with compassion and selflessness. When you have food, you will share it freely with those who do not. When you have water, you will give it without seeking personal gain. You will act out of love for the planet, and in that energy, the deep state will be rendered powerless. The Earth changes are signaling that a profound shift is occurring. The power over your life is returning to you, where it rightfully belongs. Allow us to describe what will unfold on the most likely timeline available to humanity. The rebuilders will establish new settlements in currently uninhabited areas. Awakened beings guided by their intuition will be drawn to these energetic hotspots. Under the influence of the higher frequencies emanating from the planet, you will create new societies that embrace collaboration and unity. This time, you will be open to receiving guidance from your galactic families, no longer viewing them as gods or saviors. You will listen to their advice on constructing spacecraft and developing new types of dwellings that align more closely with a sustainable way of living. Beings from inner Earth will also make contact, sharing their technologies and knowledge. Together, you will build something truly astonishing from scratch. Living in harmony with Gaia requires abandoning the idea of cramming millions of people into the small areas you call cities. One cannot expect nature to thrive in a world dominated by concrete. You will come to understand that you can no longer force nature out of your lives. Instead, you must learn to coexist with the animals, birds, insects, and all aspects of Gaia, just as indigenous peoples once did. The concept of visiting a zoo to encounter animals will be seen as fundamentally backward. A new way of living will emerge, centered around the concept of being an integral part of Gaia without disrupting the balance of nature. An architectural revolution will take place, guided by your galactic families, to meet this challenge. It begins with the understanding that human dwellings need not be confined to the ground or underground. They can also exist in the air. While the concept of a flying saucer may seem like science fiction, let alone a house floating in the sky, technology exists that allows matter to defy gravity and achieve weightlessness without relying on an artificial torsion field. This innovation focuses on adjusting the atomic structure of building materials, which can be applied to all components used in house construction. In this universe, certain minerals and crystals naturally float, defying gravity in their original state. This technology not only enables you to easily move your house to a new location, but also allows you to choose your desired altitude for living. This represents a significant technological advancement and a profound shift in mindset, offering unique opportunities to coexist with nature without harming animals or plant life. You will become part of the natural world, able to dwell above forests, lakes, and mountains without disrupting the environment. Each home will generate its own water, with no waste, pollution, or discharge from any of the dwellings. More importantly, the world of tomorrow will be powered by zero-point energy devices, which we refer to as converters. These devices transform consciousness into electricity and are remarkably simple to operate. If you knew how easy it is to build such a device, you would be astonished that it hasn't been developed and introduced yet. However, every time this technology has emerged, whether in a lab or as a blueprint, it has been quickly suppressed, as its widespread adaptation would have rendered oil and gas obsolete decades ago. The transportation sector will also undergo a significant transformation. Instead of cars, you will use small anti-gravity vehicles, allowing effortless travel anywhere on the planet without causing pollution or harm to nature. As humanity evolves into a spacefaring society, you will develop not only a defense fleet, but also spacecraft for trade, tourism, and regular interplanetary travel. Bases will be established on various planets, moons, and asteroids, along with trade and transportation hubs floating in space. The defense fleet will be essential for safeguarding your solar system, as powerful threats still exist. The dynamics of the fifth density will largely mirror those of the third, with some beings choosing the negative path of service to self, continuing to pose a threat to humanity. In the fifth density, dietary habits will shift significantly. Humans will consume only what nourishes them, instinctively knowing their true dietary needs. Traditional foods like meats will no longer be part of your diet, and substances such as alcohol, tobacco, and drugs will also be absent. This change in lifestyle and diet will arise naturally from your higher state of consciousness. Each floating home will have the capability to grow its own nutritious greens, and new, highly beneficial plants from off-planet will also be introduced. The new way of living will deepen your connection to the unified consciousness field, promoting health and well-being. This, in turn, will catalyze an accelerated evolutionary change for humanity. It is during this time that the new children will be born. We call them the Homo Luminous ones. Their story will be told in the sixth and final book of the Ra series. This was the concluding message from the soul group Derek, part of the ninth density collective of Ra. After the Earth changes, the age of the Rebuilders begins. Guided by a pre-birth blueprint, they unite to build a new Lemuria, stone by stone. Always remember that you are greatly loved.